Hi guys, how are you? Long time no see because I have been taking it real slow with this channel. Like my videos, I believe are going to be intentional from now on rather than, just putting content one every other day basically. So that's why I've been MIA. Also, it is festive season, so I've been celebrating a lot. I've been eating a lot of sweets and completely ditching my physical health. So that's exactly what's been up with me. I hope all of you are doing well. Lately, I have realized, it was holidays, it was festivals, all of those things. So I've realized that my habit of doom scrolling has significantly reached its peak. Like I was using phone for near about, I think, 10 hours every day. Like, imagine 6 hours I sleep, 10 hours I am on my phone, and the rest is where I used to do my work or whatever. Like, I didn't read, I didn't, watch something significant. So, for the past week, I decided that I will be very mindful of where I'll spend my time. And these are the things that I basically, enjoyed instead of doom scrolling, and I was very intentional with those things. So, yeah, so I wanted to share those things, and this is the media that I've consumed in the past week instead of doom scrolling. So, the first thing that I watched was a Netflix series called Culinary Class Wars. I'll put it up here somewhere. And it's on Netflix. It is a cooking show basically where, top 20 chefs of Korea mostly, but sometimes America, China. They compete with 80 chefs who are also very famous in Korea, but not to that level. So that was the competition, and the judge was a three Michelin star chef, and it was very interesting for me because lately I don't know how to cook. Like, there are some things that I cook, but cooking is something that I want to pursue very actively, and that's why I was very intentional in choosing this one as a show because I was like, I need motivation, so I'm going to watch a cooking show. And I've in the past also I've enjoyed MasterChef a lot. No matter the country, I watch MasterChef. I used to, now I don't get. Yeah, let them just go. Anyway, now I do not get that much time, but yeah, I've enjoyed that. So I watched this particular show. The next thing that I enjoyed was, and I am still enjoying this, is Leo Tolstoy's Family Happiness. It's a very short book, 120 something pages, and this is a Penguin Archive edition that I recently got. And I have borrowed this book, by the way, it's my sister's. So, yeah, I like this story is about a 17-year-old girl and a 36-year-old man. They fall in love and they get together. They were initially very much in love, but slowly their age difference begins to shine, very drastically in the marriage, and it changes. Like, obviously a 17-18-year-old woman is going to be very, full of life. She has new things to explore, and all of this is shown in this novel, while this man is very, calm, composed at the age of 36, how you would expect a man to be. And that difference is very vivid in their relationship, which makes it very difficult for them to continue. So this book is basically about that. There is also some sort of jealousy coming from the man because, obviously she is young, she is pretty, she is appreciated by many, and it has been shown in this book. I am like I still have 30 pages to go. So I don't know how Tolstoy is going to end this, but I do see some, patriarchal nuances in this book. And I don't know, like, this is my first introduction to Tolstoy, and I still have like his two prime works with me. One is War and Peace, the second one is Anna Karenina. So I hope this one goes well. And yeah, I just hope that this one is a great introduction for him as a writer and as a thinker as well. Um, because I don't know how I'll continue with those books. Like, yes, if this turns out to be a disappointment, I don't know what I'll do with those two, because those are like more than 700, 1400 some pages they are. Yes. So, anyway, coming on to the next thing, this was a YouTube video, and again, I'll show it up here somewhere. This is the most vile villain in fiction ever. Okay, I have written all of it right here. Okay, so this was a YouTube video, and the title of the video is The Most Vile Villain in Fiction Ever. And it basically talks about, this is about a comics, okay? This is fiction. However, the way it is shown, guys, it is so, so, so scary because it's about AI. The villain in this is an AI, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's gross, it's violent, it's tragic, and oh, it's cruel. It's cruel, basically. And I think it's some 15 minutes video, so you can easily watch it, and it's a great insight on the terrors of AI, and just a good watch. Then I again watched a YouTube video which was The Unbreakable Law of Mental Attraction. And this basically talks about how you can manifest things, and the very basic law of attraction and manifestation, which most people tend to skip. They go about scripting, they go about, saying affirmations, they go about doing all these little things, but the prime thing that they are missing and why their manifestations do not come true is the fact that they, instead of being in the same frequency, instead of feeling like you have already received your desire and behaving like that, they are always in lack mentality, and that's why they always attract lack. And this is the video that talks about it. It's a great watch, and again, a very short watch, I think less than 15 minutes. So yes, you can actually watch it, and very motivating as well if you're trying to manifest something in your life. Then I recently downloaded Substack in my phone. Shit. Yes, Substack in my phone. And I started reading articles. This was the first article that I read. This was the ideation to execution gap. It's on Substack, and I will again show it to you here somewhere, because it's a great, great, great article about how, if you let your thoughts sit for a while and do not act on it, you will lose it. You will lose your ideas, you will lose your, creative things that you want to do. So this article basically gives a step by step guide on how to, take an idea and plan and prepare accordingly, so that you could see it get to execution and you can execute it well to show it to the world. So that's a great article, and I think you should read it. Then I also watched a movie on Netflix, and the movie was The Women in Cabin 10. And yes, there is a book of the same name, and the movie is based on that. The movie was great, actually. It just ignited in me a fire to read more thrillers that was dead since I read The Housemaid. The Housemaid? No, I think. I think it was the housemate. So yeah, it ignited in me that, and um, the love for thrillers was just I just got this rush to read every thriller book in my TBR. Unfortunately, there aren't many thriller book in my TBR, so I was very tempted to buy more books, but I'm not going to do that. I know I've said it multiple times, but yes, I'm not going to do that until I finish a stack that I have planned for myself to complete. And but talking about the movie, it's about a journalist who takes some time off, but she is still on duty, and she was called on this yacht where they were celebrating or sort of there is a dying woman. She's suffering from cancer, and she was basically giving her property away. She is a very rich woman, and she was basically giving her property away for cancer foundation. And this journalist was you know um, called to just, I think, cover that cover that entire event. And then the cabin she's staying in is cabin 8. And one night while she was sleeping, she gets this feeling and she watches someone go on board. So she obviously gets very scared. She calls everyone in the yacht and she was like, somebody fell over in the ocean and you have to look. And then they go, there is a whole checking. They tell her that there was actually no women staying in that cabin. So, like, who was the one who fell over? And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I am such a big mouth that I'll give you spoilers. So go watch it and do read the book as well. Both of them are great. Anyway, then there is another YouTube video that I watched, which was what were Africans doing in 1492. Now, I am an Indian, and obviously, I'm very much acquainted with India's history. I'm also very much acquainted with Europe's history because obviously we read about world history, which mostly comprises of Europe and some part of America where there is civil war. Unfortunately, there is not many documentation, and I don't know why it doesn't, like, there is not much emphasis in our school system as well. Not much emphasis is given on African history. And I was very intrigued to read that because I am a history buff. So, yeah, I would read anything, I would watch anything. And I came across this video and I started watching it. And it basically tells you about the history of Africa. In 1492, it talks about kings, it talks about baptization, it talks about how Christianity came over, all of this. And it's a very short video. Again, less than 15 minutes probably. So, yeah, go watch that too. Then I watched a podcast on YouTube. It's Call Her Daddy. And the guest I was watching was Kim Kardashian. And guys, one thing you have to know about me, I am obsessed with Kardashians. Like, they are my guilty pleasures. Okay. I could read Kafka, I could read Dostoevsky, I could read Tolstoy, and I will still be watching Kardashians. I don't know. I just love them. And not like, I agree with whatever they do. It's just that something watching them takes my stress away. The vanity in all of that just takes my stress away, and I'm just, yeah, that's a confession. It's my guilty pleasure, so I'll watch anything and everything Kardashian related. And so I watched this podcast and Kim Kardashian was the guest. So if you also have that same guilty pleasure, go and watch it. It's a good one. So yeah. Then I watched again another podcast and I mean another episode of the same podcast, Call Her Daddy, by I think Alex Cooper, and the guest was Khloe Kardashian. So yes. Then I watched another podcast. This was a great one because I love Cardi B. You must be thinking that instead of doom scrolling, she is again watching anything. But the thing that I love most about Cardi B is, if you're going through, stressful situations, if you're going through, a dull situation in your life, you have to watch Cardi B, because she just speaks facts about, being lazy, being working hard, how to achieve success and all of that. And this was the podcast by, I think, Jay Shetty. This was On Purpose, and Cardi B was the guest. The one thing that I liked most about that podcast was where she says that it is mandatory for her kids to go to take these lessons, study, tutoring, all of those things, and how much emphasis she gives on parenting. And she was very vulnerable also in that podcast. So, yes, I loved that. Judge me to the length of universe, but that's it. Then I read another article on Substack, and it was When Ambition Becomes Shame in Disguise. This was an article by a page called Milk and Cookie, and this talks about how, in order to get accepted, a lot of people relate that to their, success, and they think that if they are successful, if they get good grades, they'll be accepted. If they achieve something, land a job, they'll be accepted. If they have flourishing relationship, then only they'll be accepted. And this talks about that. So if you have ever felt like that, I think this article is something that you should read. Then the second article that I read on Substack, like another article that I read on Substack, was It's a You Problem. And it's again on Substack by Killer Nay. I will attach it somewhere here to give you more detailed information about it. But I think I completely forgot what it was about, and I need a minute to check. Wait. This says self expression makes people uncomfortable not because it is wrong, but because it is unfiltered. It does not ask for approval before it speaks, it does not rehearse. And yes, this is about, filtering, the time when I don't know, not the time. Like, this talks about how much we filter ourselves just to, appear a certain way. And it talks about how we are publicly and how we are in private, and the gap between that. So I think that was very profound, and this is also something that you should read. Lastly, again, the Kardashians are on I think Hotstar, so I was watching that. This was everything that I did media wise in a week. And yeah, that was my media consumption for a week. I don't know if it's a lot, but it did save me a lot of time. So my scrolling hour decreased from 10 to 6. It's not that much, but yes, baby steps. Anyway, please comment on what's is there something that you have read, is there something that you have watched that I need to watch and read. And I hope you read a lot of books, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.